Morning, guys. Welcome back to another day of our trip in Amalfi. So, this was us very early in the morning, getting ready to step out. The bus was to come by 6:20, and we had to make that bus because this bus was going to take us directly to Napoli, and the trip was going to be an hour 30 minutes. Our train to Venice was for 9:35 a.m. and we had to make it. So we woke up very early in the morning and we started getting ready, preparing for our trip. So this was us, or me rather, getting ready to go to catch a train in Venice. Hi guys from Agerola. So guys, like this is the time is almost 6:30, 5:30, and we're currently in Agerola, which is a town or somewhere close to Amalfi, the Amalfi Coast. And currently we're about getting dressed to go back to Napoli, which is Naples, also known as Naples. And from there we board a train to Venice. We'll have to leave so early because the trains here are not so frequent. The buses here are not so frequent because the buses that lead to the Amalfi Coast tourists want to, visit the site. And if you're not, then they are actually kind of frequent, but not so frequent because you don't even know what stop you are. They'll just have Fermata Sita, which is the name of the bus, and maybe Fermata is like stop. So you don't even know what spot you're in. Google Map is your best friend. Anyway, I have a lot of gist about this Amalfi experience, but I'm super grateful for the opportunity regardless. No one. So yeah, right now we're getting ready because we need to catch the bus by 6:20. That will take us down to Napoli and Napoli to Venice and yeah, continue our tour. I hope you're, feeling the vibe, not feeling the vibe or enjoying the, experience so far. I have so many things. Like Amalfi was great, but I have some things to say, which I'll actually say as, the video progresses. But in the meantime, stay tuned because this is vlog to Venice, which is our last city and last stop in Italy. So yeah, look forward to sharing the whole experience with you, getting your comments, your suggestions, your likes, your engagements. Honestly, let's explore that. Hi guys. So I want to give you a brief gist about this whole Almafi experience. So my sister and I moved from, I think it's Echoey. I don't know how that will sound, but let's hope it's gonna be a good sound. My sister and I moved from Rome to Napoli, which was about an hour train ride. Then we came to Napoli. We had breakfast. After breakfast, we moved to get the board the bus that will take us to Amalfi or this Agerola, because that's where our accommodation was. Tip: do not book an accommodation close to Amalfi if you don't have the money. If you're trying to travel on a budget, don't book it. It's not even worth it. So basically, I love the experience in general. Having to see the sea is beautiful. The boat ride. I've never been on a ferry before. This was my first time, and it was really really nice. And if you want the experience, please go for it. But just know that if you're coming here, please come with your canvas, come with your slippers, or come with your Crocs, because you walk a lot. You walk a lot. I just dey think I'm saying that this place na person village, oh, as in, but it's very very beautiful. Look up. But at during, of course, because it's I think they make all their money during the semester, during the summer, because of there's the sun enough for them to ride the boat, and it's probably hot during that period. But during the winter, because even at night it was very chilly, and we realized, okay, it's because we're on the mountain, like we're actually on a hill, and I can only imagine how they handle this area during the winter, because on a normal winter ground is cold. Then now imagine you being on a hill. Well, I guess they have already like had like they probably have things in place to for them to enjoy it. But guys, I'm gonna show you the video of the Amalfi Coast and how we enjoyed the views. Because personally, we didn't do anything. First, we just came to experience Amalfi. It's the local, pastas, pizzas, and just know that we experienced Italy to the fullest. But yeah, this is so much for now. I still have a couple of things to say. I'll give you like a breakdown of my experience in Italy, sorry, at the Amalfi Coast, and even Italy in general. And I look forward to explaining it and you guys just experiencing it and giving me your opinions. What do you think? What don't you think? And yeah, we'll just go on from there. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, enjoy the video. So guys, tell me why we left the hotel early enough, but we still missed the bus. We saw the bus, but we missed it because we were standing on the wrong side of the road. If anybody would have told me that I would have missed that train or bus that would take us to Napoli, I wouldn't have believed it. This is just me looking at how God really came through for me and my sister in this period. I even had to hitchhike. I had to ask, I asked a fellow local, in Amalfi to take us to Santa Maria bus stop where we'll be able to catch the next bus. Guys, I prayed about this trip because we had missed our train, our bus, and if we had missed the bus, it's possible that we would not get to the train station on time to catch our train to Venice. I couldn't believe that God actually came through for me. Well, I believe it because He's God, but like I couldn't believe it. I was in so much shock. I was so I was amazed, to be honest. I just saw that, see, God is wants to be so involved in the littlest things of our lives. He just wants to be involved. Call his name and he would answer. I couldn't believe it. If anybody would have told me that after missing that train that morning that we would have been able to make our trip or our train to Venice, I wouldn't have believed it because we left that place by like 7 something and our train to Venice was 9:35 a.m. I couldn't believe it, but anyway, he's God from beginning to the end. Tell me why these Italo people were serving us food like we're in the aircraft. I was so happy and I couldn't believe it. They served us snacks, cookies, peanuts, coffee, juice if you want. Depending on what you want, they served it to us 3 times. This was me who was exhausted. I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't stop thinking about all the things that God did for us on this trip. Our Amalfi trip was the most rugged one that we had. Or every other trip that we had was cool, but this Amalfi one seems to be the most stressful trip that we had. But one thing that we said that we're going to do differently is if we're coming to Amalfi again is to have our accommodation in Napoli and ensure that we take a ferry from Napoli to Positano or Salerno instead of having our accommodation close to the Amalfi. It makes a lot more sense so that you can get back to your accommodation that night, that same day, even if you're getting back by like 11 p.m. But just know that you're closer to the transport system that will take you to your next location. I think it just made a lot of sense. So this was me just showing you the breakfast that our host packed for us because they already asked us what we wanted to have for breakfast the following day. But because we left so early, we told them that we would not be able to have breakfast. So they packed our breakfast for us. And then this was the third time they came to give us food again on this train. It was really, really nice. Italo, apparently, we found out that is one of the cheapest compared to Train Italia. And it was one of the Italo personnel that helped us, book or buy our ticket. It was actually really nice. But honestly, this trip was such an amazing experience for me. I think it's traveling definitely brings out your person, makes you discover new things about yourself, things that you never knew that you powers that you never knew that you had, strengths you never knew that you have. Because who would have known that I would be able to ask somebody to carry us in their car because we missed our train? I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to ever known that I was able to ask somebody for help, like staying inside a stranger's car. But honestly, God came through for us. So we are slowly arriving in Venice, and I had to start arranging my things. And on this same trip, my bag tore. influencers will tell you, oh, in Rome, in Italy, don't come with trolley. Please come with your trolley. Last, you lift it up whenever you're climbing the staircases, or you put it on your head because me, I don't even care. But me, I came with this small bag. Before I knew it, my bag at Ikwanem, it has torn, and I was just there. See, anyway, all I told myself was that next time I'm traveling anywhere, regardless of where I'm going to have my trolley bag because it just makes walking around convenient. So we arrived in Venice, and I was already getting ready to get that from the train, and this is just me being so happy and excited that we made all our trains because we didn't have money to be spending on things that you know that we had already previously paid for. So yeah, stay tuned for more Venice content. Now, the trip from Venice to from Naples to Venice was a lot longer than the other trips. It was about 5 hours, and then we came out and saw this very beautiful monument saying that, oh hi, we are in Venice. I was even matching the color of the monument. Check it out. So we got our accommodation and we settled in first. Then we decided to go look for what to eat. So around this Venice apparently is really clustered. So we didn't actually know this at the time, but we just said, okay, let's go and look for what to eat. And on this trip, we realized that how we're finding where places to eat was based on Google reviews and proximity to where we were, and actually price. So we decided to go find what to eat in Venice, and so we found a place actually and started looking at our Google map to locate the place. So this is us on our way to Venice restaurant to eat. One thing I noticed about Venice is that we arrived at I think 3 p.m. something, and the place was really it felt like nobody was on the streets. Restaurants were closed, shops were closed, but this shop was open, thankfully. So we realized that there's something called pausa persimo, I think, if I said it correctly. It's like a time, because Venice is actually as very hot as well. So it's like a time where people go to relax, like take rest or breaks during the hours of the day to go relax, and because the sun is high in that moment, and then they come back out for dinner. But luckily for us, this restaurant was open, and guys, I can categorically say that this was the best restaurant we had in all of our trip in Italy. I was super happy. I was sold. The hospitality of this man was just something else. He served us food, he gave us free drinks, he gave us chocolates, and even gave us something called, I think, a digestiva, which was free. I think it basically helps you digest your food after eating. Guys, I was so hungry on this particular day, to the point that I had 2 plates of spaghetti bolognese. Just check out this food. It was good. It was amazing. My sister had tomato pasta as well. I don't know what the name was, but it was almost similar to the spaghetti bolognese, and the food was so good. He gave us the Parmesan cheese. I was just so hungry. I told my sister not to waste my food. I was so hungry, and the sauce that he used for this food was, guys, it was please, I'm going to put the name of the restaurant. In fact, just look at your screen. The food was good, the hospitality was good. So if you ever find yourself in Venice, please, this should be the restaurant you go to eat, because they are going to serve you very well. We had cleared up our plates, so guys, and then they brought this digestiva for us to help digest our food. I realized while drinking that actually this drink matches my shirt, and it just felt nice. And eating now, I could rest and relax. So after eating, we even got complimentary chocolates from the owner of the restaurant. We just said, when an owner of a restaurant serves you. They're so generous with their portions and with the way they just treat you. So this was also on our way back to our hotel. So stay tuned for more Venice content.